Well, we are not.
The thing is, we don't really get time to think of Bollywood other than us like doing renditions of Bollywood songs. like to, like we're so busy doing our own stuff, and there's still a lot more left to do for us, and it's not like we're like not open to it, and we haven't really received a project that we are happy doing.
With,
So.
But I mean, never say never. If it happens, like,
if it happens,
but we're not really pursuing it in that manner, because what we've realized is like nowadays with being a musician, there are like different avenues of being a musician. You could be doing gigs in the independent circuit, or you could be doing the jingle space stuff. You could be a music director, producer, whatever. Or you could be a sessions musician, or do what we're doing, like be an independent channel.
Yeah.
And do like gigs, or like be working with the movies.
Yeah.
So
I think for us, like, we get more freedom doing what we do, and we decide what we want to do and how we want to do it, when we want to release it and stuff like that. So it for us, it's more important to just make music and be happy and like do stuff the way we want to do.
Yeah,
it.
and the other thing is, a lot of musicians who are independent also like concentrate too much in Bollywood, and then what happens is then the independent space doesn't get anything, and we don't really have good musicians. And we do have a lot of musicians, but not in terms of commercial stuff. Everybody who becomes commercial enters Bollywood eventually, and there's nothing left in this space. And that's why I think we also want to continue doing what we are doing, and create space for other people, and
for more bands,
for more bands
to come up in the independent space.
Luckily, no.
For them, no.
Not for these two, because
really,
their parents have been very supportive.
Yeah. So my dad was in the army. He just retired recently. For most of my life, I've lived alone. So luckily, I didn't have them on my case all the time, telling me like, do this, do this, do this. But they would always tell me that I need to get a job and like finish my degree and do that. And after that, if you want to pursue music, you can do it side by side. But luckily for us, through school and college, we had these cultural programs that used to happen. So even though I was in school, I used to play for a college band because my brother was in college at that time, and I used to drum for his band. So they'd give me like fake certificates and stuff, and we'd kind of go and like play those things. So we always pursued like music, even though we were in school and college. But my parents would always tell me to focus on that. And my brother was into music way before I was. So he used to get everything, like all the scoldings he used to get. He used to be like, they used to tell him like focus on school. And I used to just like, I was like, one step behind that way. So it worked for me that way. But
yeah, my dad's a worrywart, so like he still calls me. He's like, you have money? So I don't think that's ever going to change. But apart from that, I think my dad's concern was always whether I was serious about the music, because it's not common in our family to pursue music, and my parents were professionals. My dad was a doctor. My mom was a doctor, and my dad was an engineer. So doing something risky like being a musician is not accustomed. They're not accustomed to that. So yeah.
And for us, it's not like our parents never forced us to do anything. But the thing is, there was a time when we were not comfortable financially. So that's when both of us were considering going to Australia and getting into CA, become accountants. And then we shouldn't do this because we won't be happy. We're doing this only just to survive, and we don't want to just survive. We want to enjoy what we do, and that's when we thought, let's just continue doing music. Let's be patient, and yeah.
Then we came to Bombay.
Then we
a lot of people do that.
When we formed a band, like after we had formed, Venki was still working in Bangalore and I was working here in Bombay. And we were like, so at night we'd go to their place and we'd record and stuff like that. Then we kind of got to a point where we had to make this decision because it was like, if we're doing this, then it's like music always gets like, the backhand. Like we're like, okay, we finish our job and then kind of do music. So we decided just quit. Like when you're in a situation where there's nothing else and it has to work, then you'll make it work.
That's very quit.
Very quit. So quit.
Yes, okay. He's from collaboration.
I was.
Collaboration. That's the first collaboration.
That was the first
collaboration. Well, there are many artists, and it's very hard to pick one because there's like Lisa.
Yeah.
She's an amazing singer.
Is like so awesome. So Lisa is this girl from Chicago who moved here and she sang on Tarifa. So I'm pretty sure you guys must be knowing of her. And she just released a song with Badshah. right up there. So yeah, and there's some exciting stuff coming up for her. So I'm hoping that we guys can work with her.
Yeah.
Because she's really good.
She's
very
really, really
talented. And yeah, and apart from Lisa, there are like other people that we be interested in collaborating with. We just haven't approached them yet, but we're like trying to think it according to the song, like who
Yeah,
would
that's
suit this song, whether there's space to get an artist, and like how would the song sound. Like we want to like imagine that first and see whether it would work before approaching the artist.
Yeah.
So I think we're at that stage right now.